Hello Cancers, welcome to your reading. Hope that you're all doing okay, that you're all blessed and that you're all loved. I'm gonna start with your reading, horseshoe spread. We're gonna start with your past energy, your present energy, your future energy, the obstacles, the advice, the influences, the obstacle, and then the outcome. And obviously, I'm going to clarify each card. Okay, Sam. So, for my collective Cancer, what is their past energy? What is their past energy? I'm going to pull with this deck. I don't know. I have to pull. Temperance. Okay, interesting. What is their present energy? The present energy of my Cancer collective. Hope you can hear me well. I've realized in the previous videos that you can't really hear me well. The current energy, Page of Wands, Page of Fire. Oh, I can show you the cards, by the way. They're not exactly like a Rider-Waite or Marcel. Tarot de Marseille. I'm French and I'm like Marcel. Temperance. Okay, what is your future energy? The Two of Air. I don't necessarily like having the Two of Air as a future energy because it usually means indecision, kind of internal conflict. So we're gonna clarify. Yeah, I said internal conflict and I cut at the Five of Fire, Five of Wands, which can be conflict and rivalry. So maybe the conflict isn't just going to be internal. Oh, maybe you will have to make a decision. Maybe there's a choice coming for you to be in internal conflict and yet for me to cut at a card of rivalry. Okay, what is the advice for my Cancerians? The Fool, new beginning. If you have a choice to make, obviously the advice is gonna be to choose the new beginning. Choose new, not old. Oh, I said that and the Ten of Cups just fell on the table. my cards lately, my intuition in general is just okay. What are the influences? My cat is gonna come on the table. I can sense it. No, baby. I know the Hangman. Okay, the Hangman as influence. I do feel like that could signify that you're in your head too much, but that also external influence, people, like establishment, people's opinions and views is an influence in your, either in your life, in the decision that you will have to take. I'm going to clarify. Oh, someone's happy. Baby. What is the obstacle? The King of Air. The King of Air. I'm not showing you the card. The King of Air is the King of Swords, which usually it's the bearer of truth. Is very honest. Is communicative. Yes, you've understood. Sorry. Is communicative, and for that to appear as the obstacle, are you the King of Swords, unable to communicate the truth, or is someone is not giving you the truth? Five of Cups. Yeah, someone's in regret. Okay, what is the outcome for me? The outcome is the High Priestess, which is, a lot of people say it's Pisces, but for me it's Pisces and Cancer, and mostly Cancer, more so than the Chariot, to be honest. Speaking of Chariot, the reason I also choose to do Cancer, I was supposed to do Cancer, but it was between Cancer and Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I do Pisces? Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is also you guys. The cardinal sign of water, the Queen of Cups. Sam, keep your train of thoughts. Yeah, I was saying regarding the Chariot, I decided to do Cancer because I love to listen to music before doing my reading. I channel a lot of message from music, and I just listened to a song called Chariot. I think the singer is Mera. I don't really know her that well, but it was in my literally in my Tower playlist of 5,000 songs, and I just put on shuffle, and sometimes the music just apply to the situation or to the reading or to the energy. And yes, if you can, I will try, if your people are interested, to put that song in the description and listen to it. It's a nice simple song, but the message is, to me, to believe in your inner power, your inner strength. Okay, Sam, I I don't want to go too much in the. I feel like I talk too much, which I'm supposed to do, but I don't know why. I feel like I talk too much. And maybe that could be a message for someone, like being afraid to exist. Like literally, this is my platform, this is my content. It's okay if I talk too much. But there's still part of me that feels like, oh, I'll make it quick because people won't take the time to listen to what you have to say. And maybe this message is important to someone. Maybe you don't really allow yourself to show the full extent of your abilities or your talent or whatever may be, because you feel like people are not going to take the time or aren't just going to appreciate what you have to offer, so you kind of offer less. I feel like that was a message, and I also feel like I'm making the phone move a lot. Yes, I am. Have I been doing that since the start? I cannot tell. Well, we'll see. Okay, past energy was the Temperance, which is interesting to have that as the past. Why the Temperance as the past energy, Spirit? Sorry. Why the Temperance as the past energy? Why do we have the Temperance as the past energy from the collective? The Page of Swords, Justice at the bottom of the deck. Oof, Temperance and Justice. Okay, Temperance can talk about reciprocity, not giving too much because you know what you deserve. There's a sense of maybe someone was either overgiving before, or they didn't give enough to situations, to themselves, to places and things. And the Temperance, it's a form of balance, of making things work in a same exchange of energy and power, if I can say. And the Justice also signifies that. And there's a sense of karma attached to it. And with the Page of Swords is the good student. He's very diligent, he's observant, he stay on the side, and he's looking at the situation, very intelligent, but he's not very active. He's very in the observation phase, taking a step back. And I feel like in your past, recent past, longer past, please follow with me here. But there has been a situation, or many situations, just a vibe, a mood, Six of Swords, where you decided to take a step back. Maybe you left the situation, you left the group. Hermit phase, you enter some type of hermit phase, or you really, how can I say that? You really went back in your shell, but I feel like a lot of people thought that you were like the wounded warrior. You were on the ground, you were defeated, but on the contrary, you just went to reconstruct, rebuild yourself. I feel like the ray of the sun just shining right now to confirm that yes, you have went through that hermit phase of taking the time to lick your wounds, yeah, obviously, but to become stronger from them. And while you've done that, you kind of stayed on the sideline, observing the situation. And I feel like people might have received their karma for whatever they may have done to you. And you've done nothing. Like they might take it as it resonates, but I feel like some people blame you for the karma they are receiving, and you're probably the cause of their karma, but in reality, you didn't do anything but take the time to care for yourself, and you were just looking to how things were gonna evolve, and that's how they evolved. I don't know, I just had that message right now, sorry. And what else do we have for Temperance as the past energy? Yeah, Five of Pentacles. I feel like you did have to reconstruct yourself. Star, you kept the hope. Three-Doll, you did have to reconstruct yourself, especially regarding your finances. Finances, your stability, maybe the place you live at, maybe some sort of also mental balance. Take it as it resonates. But I feel like there was a lot of situation where you were left out in the cold. And that was very hard for you mentally, more so than financially. And you needed that time to go back and rebuild yourself. So when people actually feel like you attacked them, you didn't. You were like, I don't even have the time to handle or deal with you. I'm gonna look at the situation, even if it's just out of curiosity, but my primary focus right now is on myself. One last card for the Temperance as the past energy. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles. Someone decided to invest in themselves. I do feel like you might have Emperor at the bottom of the deck, Tower, and High Priestess. Ooh. You paid some karma of yourself, and by karma it could be financial karma, having to pay some debts, having to again find some type of balance in your life, in your stability, balance in your stability, God. But yeah, someone was lacking grounding, and take it as it resonates for you. But you had to take the time to invest and to be a student and to maybe gain some form of humbleness, starting again from zero. I'm gonna pursue, but I feel like this is the origin story of like a rags to riches type of destiny. Okay, let's see your present. We have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands can speak about leaving something behind in order to start a journey. But it depends what you're leaving behind. I don't feel like you're leaving things that were supposed to stay in your life. Like they reach their station, you know, when you're taking like a commute, like if you take the subway or just the train, they had their stop was there. They weren't supposed to come on to keep on staying in this train with you. Oh my god, I feel like I cannot speak. There's one card that is reversed. Which one is it? The Moon. Well, that's it. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Why the Page of Wands? Why the Page of Fire as the present energy? Spirit, Holy Spirit. The Three of Swords. Maybe you're leaving heartbreak behind. Yes, it's your present energy. You are. But the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Maybe you're leaving the feelings around the heartbreak. Are you leaving a situation that caused heartbreak to go towards the Two of Cups? Because to me, the bottom of the deck, it's always kind of your subconscious energy or wants or needs. And on top, it tends to be wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups. you're leaving something behind, but to pursue something that you actually want and that's going to make you happy. And what you're leaving behind has deeply hurted you. Like, look at this card. The Three of Swords is being stabbed in the hurt, baby. I don't know where that baby came from, but especially regarding that. But yeah, Sun. Yes. Ooh, Hierophant. You're going toward happiness and commitment. What else for the Page of Wands? And I do feel like you're very determined to Ace of Wands. Speaking about being very determined, and I have the Ace of Wands. Renewal in passion, new desire. Desire. I'm gonna say that 3 times so you know what I'm speaking of. Desire. It could be for someone in particular. It could be for life again in general. I do feel like it's for life again, for all aspects of life. Maybe you've stayed in limbo because of this Three of Swords for a long time, and this Ace of Wands is just signifying you having passion again. Even in the things you like to do. Let's say, for example, me, I do like to sing, I like to dance, and I've regained the passion in doing those things again. Page of Wands. My card, my intuition is... Okay, Sam, calm down. Do I put it on the deck? No, because it fell while I was shuffling, which is kind of the principle of all of this, but yeah, sorry. Talking to myself. Why one more card for the page? The Queen of Wands. Because no one can tell you nothing. I feel like there is also a sense of being unapologetic of your regain. Not just regain, I feel like it's a new confidence, not even a regained confidence. There's some that has been regained, but there's some more that has been added lately. You're more confident that you've probably ever been in your life. People are starting to notice, like the Queen of Wands is very attractive, very alluring, very charismatic. She enters a room and everybody notices. I cannot speak anymore. Who is sending me? Not you. And everybody notices. And I feel like people might see you like that lately. Five of Wands. In here, this Five of Wands make me think that maybe someone is having a lot of suitors, a lot of attention. Kind of all of a sudden, it's very death, end of a cycle. Yeah, it's very surprising in some ways for someone to maybe realizing that, yeah, they're back in the game. They're very confident in themselves. Okay, sorry. The Two of Air for your future. What is this indecision? What I was worried about. I'm still moving that phone, am I? Yep, I am. I am so sorry. The Two of Air. The Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. You're gonna find yourself in a situation where you're not gonna know what to do. Seven of Pentacles. And it's gonna come at a point in your life when you're starting to find a rhythm in your investment. Would it be your schedule, balancing if you have a work, but also on the side you have a passion and you started running, having your own personal goals, and you're finding a balance in your life, and there is some situation that's going to put you in a Two of Swords, and that's going to leave you as a Wounded Warrior. So I do feel like it could be a situation from the past that's resurfacing and leaving you like, oh, come on, not now. Like, it took so much, so long to heal from that. And now it's here and I have to deal with it. and it's throwing me off. Why am I speaking with this accent? And it's throwing me off my balance. This is not even my accent when I speak English. I don't know what's going on. Sorry. What else? Why the two there? We have 2 cards, so I'm not gonna... Ooh, King of Swords and 5 of Swords. Is someone from the back is gonna come back like all guns blazing? Like the King of Swords, as I said, he is in your obstacle. It's the bearer of truth. Aquarius energy. I didn't speak about the energy. We have Aquarius, we have Aries with the Queen of Wands, but also it could be Leo, Sagittarius, and also Aries again with the Ace of Wands. Someone is gonna come back and mess with your tranquility. The audacity of people. What else for the two there? One more card, please. One more card. I said what else for the two there, and they gave me the 2 of Swords, which is the 2 of air. Yeah, that's not good. 7 of Cups, careful what you wish for. Not just careful what you wish for. This card is literally, you can see the character is like, ooh, treasure, but around his waist, with the treasures was also a snake that's wrapping itself around his waist and suffocating him. But he's holding necklaces, right? All that to say, that situation, it could be something or someone that's very shiny. By shiny, I mean maybe very attracting. Maybe the connection that you share with that person is attracting. And I'm not just talking about physical attributes. The chemistry, the memories, a lot of things to you seems very attracting. But at the same time, there is a trap feeling to it for you to be in that double indecision in the future. Like it's leaving you in a 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. Like, too much wounds, I cannot move, I cannot go forward, I cannot go backwards. And the 7 of Cups, which is, yes, careful what you wish for, you know, you might want that, but it might not be for you. And I feel like there is a deeper knowing within you that whatever is coming, the world should be the completion of our cycle. Whatever is coming is something that feels attractive, like those necklaces, but it's actually the snake wrapping itself around your waist and suffocating you. Let's emphasize the suffocation. Well, the advice is literally the Fool. Aries energy again. This is hilarious. Oh, and we have the Fool and the World. Literally the entire Fool's journey, the completion of the cycle. Sorry, I'm going too far. Can you clarify the Fool, which is your advice, which speaks of new beginning, but also being a bit foolish in the sense of being a bit reckless, leaving the fear and the consequences and the insecurities attach around something behind, and yeah, just be foolish and going forward. So let's clarify the Fool. Why do we have the Fool as the advice? This 5 of Wands. You guys definitely gonna have to choose between 2 people. Because new beginning, which is clarified by rivalry and conflict. Okay, 2 more cards. Why the Fool, please? Why the Fool? the Eight of Swords, because one of the situations, because I do feel like you will have to choose between, and the other situation, you know, it could be another person, it could be your own damn self. It could be a place, it could be a work, you will have to choose between two things. And one is just something that puts you in a freaking mental prison. Like you're tortured by whatever it is. It kind of makes the choice pretty obvious, not gonna lie. What else for the Fool as the advice? Ace of Pentacles. Because one of those options for you feel unstable. And you want a new beginning. You want to start again. You want to start again also, sorry, in your stability. Maybe someone is moving, changing their place of employment, changing something. But there is a sense of renewal in the world, the stability, the foundations. And the advice is to focus on that, because the other situation, there's too much conflict and there's too much like mental discomfort attached to it. That would be the advice. But we have the Star at the bottom of the deck, which is still an advice, you know, Aquarius energy, by the way, but it speaks of hope, being hopeful, believing in High Priestess. Believe in your intuition. Oh, we have 4 major arcana. We have the Fool, the High Priestess, the Temperance, and sorry, the Star, the High Priestess, the Temperance, and the Fool. Believe in your intuition and kind of in the faith that there is a new beginning coming from you. Well, also coming from you, but coming for you of something better, something that suits you, Queen of Cups, you better in the long run. We have the Hangman as the influence. Why is the Hangman the influence for my Cancerians? Eight of Cups. This is a card of emotional healing, of letting go. Okay, there's 2 ways I can see this. I have the 2 8 next to each other, 8 8. Maybe you have been seeing the number 888 a lot. Strong angel number. Also 88 is the strength. Leo, take it as it resonates, but a Leo could be of importance in this reading. I have 2 ways to read those cards. With the Hangman, you're stuck in limbo. That is some of the influence. I was speaking earlier of external influence, but it could also be, you know, sometimes when you think it is external, but it's not external at all, it's completely internal. I'm going to clarify with a little story or an analogy, because I'm not going anywhere right now. The gym. I have a lot of friends who hate going to the gym because they're afraid that they're gonna look ridiculous. I don't know why I don't fear looking ridiculous. I think I've accepted that I'm weird and that I sometimes look, sound, do weird stuff, and that's just it, you know. There's not yeah, personally I don't care about that. So if I want to go to the gym, I go to the gym. If I want to be on a certain equipment, I'll use it. I won't be like, oh, people are looking at me, then what? Like, unless you're no, sorry, unless you can kill me with your eyes, I don't really see what you looking at me is going to change the situation. Like, you looking at me, so what we're going to do, okay? So all that to say, some of my friends, they don't go to the gym because they're afraid that people are going to look at them. And we did a little experiment and they tried things, and I was like, okay, I'm going to film around you to see how many people are looking at you. And everybody was looking at themselves, either because they were looking at their progress, their gains, or either because they were themselves self-conscious that other people would look at them. And that's how we'll go through life. We really think that people are very pressed about what we have to do, what we want to do, where we want to be, and things like that, that people are always like on the corner looking like, what is he gonna do, what is she gonna do. And maybe some people are like that and I'm not, so I cannot comprehend. But I can assure you, at least with that experiment of the gym, most of the time when you think that people will have a certain opinion on something, maybe that's true, but it won't be as important as you make it out to be in your own head. And let's say you're going to be judged for something. I see it a lot with, well, that can depend on your upbringing, but with coming out. Some people, you know, they're terrified, and I do understand that might not be the best example. They're terrified to come out to their family. And honestly, if I were to come out, if I was in that situation and I were to come out to my family, still I wouldn't care. But that's just a me thing. That's just a me thing. Okay, Sam, stop talking of this. All that I wanted to say is that sometimes a lot of the mental prison we put ourselves in, like we create the bars. We put ourselves behind bars that we really made of our own fears and insecurities. Like most people are too pressed with their own shit to really care about what you're doing. And that's how it goes in life, and it gets worse and worse with internet and smartphones and whatever. But most people, they don't give a flying one about what you do with your life, about the choices you make, the choices you take and the decision you make. They don't care. They're too focused on their own. So either you have to let go on your own shit that you think is other people's opinion, or you have to let go on that person altogether. Because I feel like there could be resentment or something like that leaves you in that leaves you limbo. Because the hangman he can shift his mental, his position, his way of seeing or facing something, but he's also stuck. He's not moving, the hangman. He's just observing things from a different perspective. That's what I wanted to say. But it's still just in an observation phase before reaching the death, which is the arcana after, which is now the end of the cycle. You know, he accepted the shift of the different perspective. The cycle has ended and something else is able to start. But there is a need to let go at some point. Let go of something, whatever that may be for you. I spent way too long trying to explain that, but I felt like it was important. Okay, 2 more cards for the hangman. Why did I scream? The 2 of Cups. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna, King of Swords again. Oh my God, I'm just gonna pull 1 more card. 9 of Pentacles. You know how we say, I'm gonna do so many analogies. I think I'm gonna do those analogies. I think it's better for me. I have thousands of analogy. I'm a Nigerian aunt. I'm not Nigerian, but just to say. You know when we say to open a door, you have to close the one before? That you can't really have 2 doors open. I don't know who says that, because technically you can. But you know what I'm trying to say. As long as you haven't let go either of that person or the resentment you have toward that person, because I do feel like it's a person, could be again places and things, and by person it could be not just a love connection, but I do feel like it's a love connection, but it could be whatever. Take it as it resonates in your own story. As long as you haven't let go, you won't be able to have the good aspect of what is to come afterwards. And it could be with that same person because, again, you're in the Two of Air, so there is some sort of indecision. Do I go towards the past? Do I go towards the future? Your advice is the Fool, which could be a new beginning. You're beginning with them. It will depend to, according to anyone's stories, each person needs to use their own discernment. But all that to say, is there, if it is for new or to restart something new with an old person, you will have to go through emotional healing. You will have to let go of something. Either it's your resentment, either it's them, but you won't have Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. You won't have all of the lovely, beautiful things that are to come afterwards, as long as you're still holding something. Okay, this might be a better analogy than the door. It's like you're holding something, but God, the Most High, wants to give you something better, bigger, but you're still holding that cup of resentment, unhappiness, sorrow, distress. Both of your hands are full, and you cannot take all of the happiness that He wants to give to you. So you have to let go in order for your hands to be free and to receive. That was very easy to explain. I don't know why I had to go that far, but hope you understood. Okay, we have the King of Air in the obstacle position though. Why the King of Air in the obstacle? Who cannot speak their truth, if that's what it is. Why the King of Air in the obstacle position? The Three of Cups. Justice. Three of Cups tends to be also a third party card. So there's a triangle somewhere in that obstacle. What else? Wheel of Fortune and Queen of Pentacles. Wait, I'm reading for Cancerians, right? Because I'm gonna just clarify with this other deck because it's weird. King of Air, obstacle position. Can you tell me more? Ace of Swords, revelation. Eight of Wands. Page of Cups in reverse. Lover and Magician. Yeah, the obstacle again is gonna be, I think it might be the person from your past. They're gonna lay thick on you, and by thick on you is that they might have had the realization that this was a very important connection for them. And we have Eight of Wands, which is a card of action, and Page of Cups in reverse. They're gonna come, but not being just a Page of Cups. Like, they're gonna come and offer more than just like flirtatious behavior, or very superficial, or very superficial things. They're gonna be very like Magician and the Lovers. I feel like there was a third party. There was some sort of triangle, and could actually be rectangle. Let me explain. Because I feel like at some point you're gonna find yourself in a situation when you will have to choose either between either two-person or you, a person and yourself. But I do feel like it might be two-person. And this previous person that is coming back, because it's a person that from the past that is coming back, also had to choose between you and someone else that they might have left behind, of this Three of Cups and that Wheel of Fortune, because they felt like it was destined to come towards you, a Queen of Pentacles, like a mother figure. Or a Queen of Pentacles in their life manipulated the situation, but then again, it's because we do have a Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. That again is something else. They could have been forced by a Queen of Pentacles, very authoritarian figure, to leave this behind, if that resonates for someone. Because the Queen of Pentacles is in the obstacle. Are you the Queen of Pentacles? I don't feel like it's you. Wait. Are you the Queen of Pentacles? Is Cancer the Queen of Pentacles? Queen of Cups. Oh. No. You're the Queen of Cups. There is another queen that's the Queen of Pentacles. Who's the Queen of Pentacles? I know I insist on her, but who's the Queen of Pentacles? Six of Cups, which is nostalgia, but it can speak about childhood. And Nine of Swords. Is it their mother? I feel like that could be someone, mother or parental figure. Take it as it resonates for anyone, but maybe a parental figure, a family in general could have been the obstacle in this situation in some ways. Queen of Pentacles, by the way, which is Capricorn. Could also be Taurus, Virgo, but mostly Capricorn. I'm gonna go to the outcome and leave it at that, because this energy was weird. The outcome is you, High Priestess. Why the High Priestess as the outcome? The Five of Swords. You're gonna defend yourself. You're gonna defend your interest, your feelings. I feel like you wore your heart on a sleeve. Is that the expression? Wearing your heart on the sleeve. Yeah, I think it's that. A little bit too much. Of course, you're Cancer. You're the nurturer by essence. You're the mother figure also. More so than the Queen of, well, more so than the Queen of Pentacles in different aspects. You're the nurturer. They are the provider. And yeah, you didn't really protected your emotions. You were leading with empathy, with love, and when you do that, you leave yourself open to attacks, to being attacked by people who don't necessarily want your best. So this is not what you're gonna do anymore. I feel like you're being very protective of your energy. And the High Priestess here, she's in control, like she's in a garment, holding her almanac, like a book of prayers and recipes, and like a witchy, how do you call it? There is a term in French, I cannot find it right now. But she's very much in control of her power, so I feel like you still have, obviously, your emotions, your empathy, but you know when to use it and know when to restrain it and know when to protect it. And that's what you're going to do in your outcome. 10 of Cups, you're going to focus on your happiness, you're going to drink your water and mind your business, like literally. Death. End of a cycle. Death is also Scorpio, so something I wanted to say. I don't know about Pisces because I feel like I know that that's the only sign I don't have in my chart, but I do have strong Scorpio and Cancer placement, Mercury and Mars in Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken, and Cancer as my rising sign, but in my first house. So I do have a lot of water signs, and what discovered within myself and with water signs around me is that we have that beautiful transformative energy. We're alchemists. It can be very hard to deal with sometimes because we get hit, full hit by things because we don't run away from emotion. We are the emotions. The water is the only element that adapts to whatever you're trying to contain it. And for us, even if I'm not a water sign, as a sun sign, but I do consider myself very watery, very waterly. Sam, can you stop? But I do consider that I have a lot of water. I'm not gonna overshare, but yeah, water is definitely one of my elements, and it's a very transformative one. The harder I get hit, the lower I fall, the stronger I become. And it's crazy. It took me a long time to realize now. My mom already knew and she kind of warned me like that's how we do it. Like it can be hard, but actually falling and kind of dying and like like the Scorpio having to be in a constant rebirth, that's where we get our strength from. We don't get our strength from our victories or from our success. We get it from our losses and our defeat. So take them full hit, And I've learned to really make it my power lately, the power of being an alchemist. If you have water in your chart, in strong placement, remember that you have that incredible power to alchemize shit. You're water, you're the element, you adapt to whatever is thrown your way. You're the one who adapts, not the other way around. So fear not. From whatever, it's an amazing power to be like, okay, it might hurt if I fall, but I know I'm gonna be stronger after that. So bring in the storm, And we have that, and we should feel very proud of that and be very proud of that and make it like our strength. This is my shield. You cannot destroy me because the attempt of it is just gonna make me stronger. Isn't that amazing? Okay, one last card. Oh, what is it gonna be? The Ace of Cups. I love tarot. The Ace of Cups, new love within yourself, new love with others. This is the beginning of a new stage. And maybe, I'm not going to say the most important one, because I feel like you're going to have even more important stages in your life. But this is the beginning of a very, very, very interesting stage of your life. It's like you're a phoenix that rose again, but you rose with feathers that have colors that had never been seen again. Like marvelous. I'm gonna stop here because I take a bit of that reading with me, a bit of that energy. I love it. I'm just gonna pull a little oracle as an advice for you guys. And yeah, gonna leave it at that before I mess it up. Can you give me an advice for my Cancerian, please? What advice can Spirit Guide... I don't know if I'm supposed to take this one because it did fall, I didn't really shuffle it out. But it says love. I'm going to translate it because it's in French. Reunion. A strong connection with the loved one, someone of your family, a friend, a colleague, a precious bond of souls. Take care of it and a project might come from it. So it definitely speaks of reunion with an old soul you are connected with. But, we talked about it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope the best in all of this. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, you know how it goes. And thank you for watching if you have actually watched the 50 minutes of this craziness that just happened. See you!